Hey traders, today is August 22nd, 2024. I'm gonna go over 14 different names. So let's get to it. This is not financial advice. This content is for educational purposes or entertainment. If you are thinking about investing your capital, please make sure to do some due diligence and research before you put any capital in any equities or any type of investment. If you find utility in this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. So let's get to it. So AMD is the first name that I have on my list. I'm going over 14 different names today. And I think on Monday, I was talking about this move going or mounting this resistance level at 151 and then going on your direction towards 161. Now on Tuesday, we had a little bit of a sell-off. It wasn't too aggressive. And what I said, I believe either Tuesday or Monday, was that having these kind of moves in such a short period of time should have an opposite reaction, as we all know. So in about 13 to or 12 trading days, we went up for this particular stock, AMD, we went up almost 33%. The next day, on Wednesday, this stock was up almost 1%, and today it actually went down almost 4%. We are sitting right on support. And one of the things that I was saying was like, I would love to see maybe ranging or retesting this level for a continuation. It would be great if that happens. You are under the 200 SMA. I'm using the SMA now, and under the 35 SMA, on top of that 35 SMA. So you're in a crucial level right here. And I wouldn't be surprised, and maybe tomorrow we see a little bit of a move to the upside, or if we break resistance, which is 151, we might continue going down towards 134. I don't think we're going to hit 134. We're probably going to bounce somewhere around 144 or 145, and then come back to test this resistance level. Another thing that could have been happening is, and we're going to retest 151 and then continue going towards 161. Anyways, what I was saying, I guess on Tuesday, was that we're due for a pullback, and we're seeing it. There was a sell-off today, and I think it has to do with comments from the Fed and the fact that maybe the Fed is going to take a little bit, or is going to cut rates a little bit slower than what the market would like to see. And that could be problematic. Anyways, that's what I have for AMD. Let's move on to Amazon. And we have a similar situation here with Amazon. It was down 2.2%. We are almost at support at 174. My price target at one point, when I was actually on Amazon, I had some calls somewhere in this area, I forgot, but my price target was 175 and then reassess. What I said yesterday, let me take a look at my notes, and I think I mentioned Amazon yesterday. Yes, I did. So what I said yesterday is, and once you hit 181, you should actually reassess your position, which is pretty much what happened. And the reason why I said that is because you didn't break on this candle yesterday, Wednesday. You didn't really break this resistance level, and you also didn't mount the 35 SMA. That, at least for me, is an indication that weakness is coming, and this candle is basically telling you everything. These indicators down here, MACD and TSI, also are telling you that strength, especially the TSI, is telling you that there is strength missing. You also have a lot of liquidity here. So we got a pullback. I'm not sure if this is going to continue. And if it does, my resistance level is not going to be 74. My resistance level is going to be this 200 SMA, which is going to be around, by tomorrow, 171 or so. I'm not sure. I don't think that the move is going to be that dramatic. We might retest this level and go back to 181. But as I said yesterday, you have to reassess your position once you hit this. And if you don't break, then you have to take action, whatever that is. You do what you gotta do. What I think is gonna happen in the market, you know, I don't trade in that way. I just see the chart and then I, you know, structure my positions based upon what I see on charts. What I can tell you is that it would be nicer to see a continuation to the downside and then a bounce back. It would make me feel more comfortable. Let's do this just for because why not? You had a move of 20% again on Amazon in a very short period of time, and I think now the market is taking a little break and they really want to pay attention to what the Fed is going to do. That's what I have for Amazon. Next, I have ASTS. And so in today's video, I'm going to mention some stocks that have been moving very aggressively. And I'm very tempted into shorting some of them. Now, the problem with that is how risky that move is. I personally, I'm being very disciplined on not taking unnecessary risks. And if you have followed some of my videos, I normally sell my winners. I don't let them run too much. And the reason for that is because I trade on panic. But on the other hand, the good thing is that most of my exits are green. So I really have become very protective of my capital, and that is actually working out for me very nicely. But here, when I see these kind of moves right here, and it's kind of like what we saw back to completely different stocks, by the way, but kind of like what we saw on Jumia, right on this area right here. And I was telling everybody, hey, this is super extended. Something is gonna break, and it did very dramatically. Let's go back to ASTS. So I do believe today it was down 6.3%. There might be some opportunities here. I'm not sure if you can actually buy puts. I haven't checked that on Red Bull, which is a brokerage that I use. But I'm pretty sure I can short it. Kind of risky is I'm not sure if it's liquid right now or not, if they have enough shares available to borrow. But when I see the MACD like this and the TSI like this, tells me how bad the situation is probably going to be. We have seen it before in this area right here, and then maybe if we go back, it's never been this extended. So, you know, a few years back, I used to trade these kind of moves, meaning I used to trade the opposite direction, and I did pretty well actually, but it was extremely stressful. And sometimes you couldn't actually get out of your position, which because of the stock wasn't very liquid, or you couldn't buy more. It was, you know, especially if you wanted to buy more, it was sometimes very difficult. But anyways, that's the only reason why I'm mentioning this. I think there is definitely opportunity to the downside, but it's extremely risky. Anyways, let's move on to this other name that I think I mentioned yesterday or the day before on a video, and that is Celsius Holdings. And last time I mentioned Celsius, I recall saying, you know, if there is no momentum, don't touch it. I personally would love to get into this to the upside. I don't want to short it. It's not for me. It's already, in my opinion, exhausted. But I do believe that maybe you're going to range in this area or maybe continue going down. If we continue going down, to me, is in the way I like to trade, is great news. You know, you can still go down all the way. You can, you know, let's do that. There is a gap right here, and it would be quite interesting to see if it's, oh, it already got filled. Okay, so you are right at this bottom right now. Then let's put a ray on here. That is quite interesting. Wow. So let's be more precise. Okay. I don't know. I would love to see this going down, just like what I did with Nike. You know, I was just praying for Nike to continue going down because it was a great opportunity to the upside. And look what Nike is today. You know, it's filling the gap already. So Nike had a really nice move to the upside, and I believe that Celsius eventually is going to have the day. That day is going to come. When exactly, I don't know. Again, there was a sell-off today. It was down almost 5%, 4.72. But I would love to see this going back to 35. I know I'm sounding super greedy, and I would love if this actually goes to the next level, which would be 28. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, if there's a pullback on the market in the coming days. So that's what I have for Celsius. I would wait. I wouldn't short it. I think it's way too risky to short. And I do believe that there is definitely opportunity either for a bounce here at some point, but you have to see momentum. You have to see volume coming. This is a very liquid area, so whatever move, if it goes down, it's going to be quick, and if it goes up, it's going to be quick as well. But again, I don't like the fact that it's so indecisive. I love seeing these indicators under the zero line and maybe maintaining there until we see a nice move to the upside. That's what I have for Celsius. Don't touch it on the downside. At least that is what I'm telling myself. It makes no sense to do that. And just wait. It's just a game of being just be patient, and it's gonna work out eventually. Google. Now, why am I mentioning Google? It's because I had a position in Google this week, and I sold, I believe, on Tuesday. And you know, sometimes when I do that, I feel kind of guilty because I feel like, oh man, I'm leaving half of the move behind, and I'm leaving money on the table. But I also normally the reason why I do that is because I see weakness on the move, and I just feel like, okay, you know, this is not gonna continue, and I'm just gonna get out. Well, I was right, and this is another reason or another example why I guess my way of trading is working out well. It's not perfect. I take losses too, but it's because once I see weakness of any kind, I just get out. I'd rather have a 20% gain than being green and then going red. It's a horrible feeling. I know you have felt that before. I felt that a million times, and it's not a good feeling. It's horrible when you have a stock that is up, I don't know, 20, 30, 40%, and then you get greedy, turn around, and 2 days later, you're down, or you get stopped out at minus 10%, minus 15%, whatever stop you use. That is terrible. And it's a bad feeling. It's a worse feeling than when you actually leave money on the table, because you already protected your capital, you know, your principal is still in your account, and you made some extra money. So that's what I did. I got out on Tuesday. I think I got in on Friday, and then I got out on Tuesday. So I took this move, and I was comfortable with it, you know, and then it continued going down. Yesterday was bumpy, and today, well, we got a 128 negative move, and we might continue going towards 164, which is support right now. We'll see what happens after that. We'll see how the market behaves tomorrow and next week. I'm not bearish in right now in short term. I think there might be a bounce, and I see this chart a little bit healthier than others that were absolutely green. So I don't dislike Google. I wouldn't be surprised, and we get to this level right here at 164, and then we bounce back next week. So that's what I think about Google. Another name that I had a position last week and this week is HIMS. And so let's take a look at HIMS. And Same thing. I did buy HIMS, I do believe was on Thursday of last week. Went down a little bit. I was a little bit nervous because it was just touching resistance support right here. And then it went up nicely on Monday. I was feeling pretty good about it. And then it kind of kept moving, and I sold on Tuesday. Wednesday was a flat day, and today was actually, let's take a look at the 1 day, 1 minute. It had a good start of the day, and then it completely collapsed. It would have been nice again if I had this move here, but I did get out on Tuesday in this area right here. Once I saw that weakness, I'm out, because you had all this going on already, and then you have these candles coming in. So I was out very early in the trading day, and so I got out. I was green, and then when you see things in a different perspective, I feel kind of, I feel good with my decision. We'll see. I still like this chart. It's still meeting my parameters of what I like to see. I wish the TSI and the MACD were acting in more synchronicity. That's a better sign in my opinion, but it doesn't mean that that the chart is not looking good as far as what I see and as far as how I like to make my entries. It would be great if you actually go back to 1530 and then you go bounce. And that's what I've been saying pretty much the whole week. And probably on Sunday I was saying something similar, but Sunday video doesn't have audio, so whatever. I'm still butthurt about it. Anyways, that's what I have for HIMS. I want to wait for a retest. I don't care if it continues going up. Well, okay, whatever. I might take a position if I see a little bit of indecision in this area, believe it or not, and I might take a position. I still like the chart, but it would be optimal if we continue going down towards support and then bounce back, kind of like a retest on support. That's what I have for HIMS. And let's talk about the next name, which is Iris Energy. So I bought Iris Energy on Thursday of last week, I believe. These calls are expiring. I believe, I don't have my brokerage account open right now, but I believe they expire on September 27th. I am currently down 14%, so I am probably gonna get stopped out tomorrow. Normally, I like to get out of a trade way before I get stopped out, but today I had a doctor's appointment. I went to work out after my appointment, and I don't remember what I did after that. But then when I came home, it was kind of like 12:20 or 12:30 already, and it was, Pacific time, so I was like 30 minutes before closing. So I was like, well, whatever. But today, IREN had a pretty bad day. It got rejected on resistance at 860, and I don't think tomorrow, unless something exceptional happens, and there is going to be a rebound. I do believe that it's going to continue going towards the 200 SMA, and because of that, I'm either going to get stopped out, or if I get lucky, which doesn't count in trading, if I get lucky tomorrow, maybe it spikes up in the beginning of the day, and then I can get out maybe at a small loss or under 15%, or I'll just take the loss. I don't care if these calls are for September 27th. At this point, I just don't like the weakness. I don't believe in this move anymore. So I'm okay if I get stopped out tomorrow, or I'm just gonna sell tomorrow no matter what. So that's what I have for IREN. It had a nice setup. I was very enthusiastic about this setup. It did work in this area, but it lost momentum. And I also found out that the spreads on IREN, which I didn't pay attention to that, are pretty wide, and the moves and the volatility, I don't know, it's kind of like a weird, I'm not used to these kind of names, especially on options, so I don't have patience for that, and I don't like to see things going up 20% and then 20 seconds later, or 20 minutes later, is down 20%, or I'm sorry, like 15 or 10%. It was today. It was kind of weird to see how it was moving, and I was like, before I went to the doctor, I was like, this makes no sense. Anyways, that's what I have for IREN. I'm gonna get out of it tomorrow. Bummer. Next name I have LUMN, and let's keep an eye on this. Taking some notes. This is another name that I think, just because what I'm seeing on the MACD, I might wanna short, and I'm just trying to see the relationship here. Look at this. Wow. But then it went down. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about this company. I haven't done any research about the latest news. It seems like they had a pretty good earnings report, and not really. But we'll see. I might actually short this thing. If I can buy puts, I would probably buy puts. If not, I don't know. But let me write it down. Man, these are all. Today I day trade Apple and SQQQ, and those trades were very nice. Anyways, I was puts on Apple, and I went long on SQQQ, and it worked out pretty nicely. Anyways, I'm just mentioning this name because I might short it. There is very, very low liquidity here. MACD is looking crazy in my opinion. RSI is still high. TSI is already losing strength. That's telling me a lot. Volume is gone. There is a decrease in volume, and today it was down 1.7%. There's definitely opportunity here. I might be shorting this tomorrow. Don't take this as advice at all. This is absolutely risky. Okay, let's move on with, I have a position on MBLY, and it is flat. It's completely flat, 0%. I'm going long on it. Let's do Meta. The only reason why I want to mention Meta is because it's been hitting all-time highs in the last 2 days, I believe. Yeah, or this week for sure. Today it was up at 130. The highest was 144. Nice. Slightly under. It was under 1.6. But a nice move nonetheless. I do believe that this is probably going to take a breather. We have seen it here once it hit all-time highs, and we did see it here. There might be an opportunity to the downside. I've been looking at my whole list, and there's a lot of setups that are looking like good opportunity to actually short. So we'll see what happens. I'm used to trade Meta, but I don't do it as often as I did before. But I might take actually some action maybe tomorrow or next week. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It seems like the sentiment on the market right now is a little bit bearish, at least for tomorrow. But I think tomorrow is going to be a very telling day. Anyways, that's what I have for Meta. And now let's move on to Microsoft. Microsoft was another position that I had this week, part of last week and this week. I got out on Tuesday as well. So I sold Microsoft, I sold Google, and yeah, that's what I and I sold HIMS, as I mentioned, and I did sell on Tuesday as well. So yesterday was green as well, and I was like, man, did I make a mistake? But normally I have those thoughts, but I don't feel that bad because again, I made money with those moves or with those positions. And then today you had a 2% to the downside, and you are sitting on resistance again, on support, my bad, for 15, which was a crucial level when we were in this area. I was calling Microsoft right here, and the reason why I call those these names or I make those calls is because I see this behavior on these two indicators. And normally I like I like when both of them are acting in the exact same way. It happens quite often, to be honest. And the stock had strength, there was volume, but now we have this. If we break resistance, keep an eye on the 200 support. I'm sorry, keep an eye on the 200 SMA. I don't think we're gonna go down all the way to 398, but it could happen. But I don't think that's gonna be the case. We're probably gonna sit somewhere around this area, around 400 or so, 405 or so, and then probably go back. You still have a few more days for those moves, but I wouldn't take any positions until I don't see this level either retested, going back up, or broken, going down. That's what I have from Amazon. Let's mention NVDA, because I did have a position on NVIDIA. And the good thing about it is that I got out of this position on time. I did buy, I think I bought that yesterday with an expiration of August 30th. And my thought process, and I was saying in yesterday's video that I was a little bit nervous on that position. And the reason is because of the expiration date, and it felt a little bit rushed. Maybe I was bored and I was like, well, earnings are coming next week. Let's just, buy something. And anyways, so what happened is that I saw this, let's zoom this in a little bit. I saw weakness on this area and I ended up selling. I think I sold right on this red candle, and I was done. I was green. This already looked to me a little bit extended for the 1 minute. It's a 1 minute, right? But I was green. I was up, I believe, 28% from my entry from the day before, which was somewhere in this area right here. So I was okay with that. What I was happy to see, I was happy to see this move to the downside. And sometimes it feels good when you're right, I guess. I do believe that maybe before earnings, we're going to test this level, or we're going to bounce off the 35 SMA, but we might end up testing the 117 level. We might be a little bit higher than that. We're going to encounter this indicator before, but I do believe that we might be seeing a cool down pretty soon, maybe tomorrow, and then a bounce. So I guess I'm gonna play what I normally don't like to do, but I might buy a couple of calls, nothing big, for NVIDIA earnings, and be okay if I lose that money. But what I did yesterday, I think, was a little bit rushed. You can buy cheaper contracts, I guess, the day off, or the week off earnings, and probably the day off earnings, and take that lower risk on your principal. Anyways, that's why I'm mentioning NVIDIA. And now another name that I was talking about, RIVN. What did I say about RIVN? Well, what I said about RIVN was that I was bearish on RIVN. I was calling that back here, the beginning of August. I just didn't like the lack of momentum. I mean, look at this. This is such a clear, perfect entry right on this red candle under support. Support became resistance, and then look at this move. I think the gap is gonna get filled. I don't know how soon. It looks like it's gonna be sooner than later, and maybe we rebound from this resistance level at 12.20. 12.17 is what I have, and maybe we see another move. Unfortunately, I didn't get in, but I was, as I've been mentioning, I was playing other names. But RIVN was, in my opinion, very clear in this area. The setup also was already gone for what I like, but I was pretty positive on my I guess thesis that this was going to continue going down. Again, the perfect entry would have been on July 24th. That would have been beautiful. But sometimes you miss them. I check these names every day, all of them. So it's not like my list is too big and that's why I missed it. I just didn't think about it, I guess. Anyways, another name that I sold today, I bought yesterday, is Starbucks. And why did I sell today? Because the stock itself was moving too slow. I might actually get back in tomorrow. I was green. I got out at like 7%, so it was a small win, but I got out around 7%, and I did get out. I'll show you where. In some area that where it was, I was working out, so it was around. It was before I went to a gym, so it was around somewhere around here. I was going short. I bought the day before. We were somewhere in this area right here when I bought, and I got out probably right here. No, probably right here. After this, yeah, I saw this. I think when I was looking this stuff on my phone, and when I saw, you know, it was like a 5-minute candle. When I saw these big candles coming up, this big candle coming up, I was out. Little that I knew it was gonna continue going down, whatever. I do think that Starbucks is gonna continue going down. There is definitely weakness. These indicators are curling towards their signal line, so RSI is still close to 50. There is definitely opportunity here. If there's a sell-off tomorrow, we are probably gonna see something interesting. Let's go back to the 1 minute and take a look. Which I really don't care much. Yeah, whatever. I really don't care much about after hours, unless it's earnings or something. Like Kava did good today, and Workday also did pretty good today. Anyways, that's what I have for Starbucks. And now, last but not least, this is Tesla is working the way I was predicting, almost exactly as I was predicting. What I was saying is I have a range, which I think I was a little bit extra, from 163 to 230. 230, yeah, 230. I think that's a little bit too crazy, but definitely my range is 230 to 177. Yes, no, to 186. I think this is the range that we have right now, one of these two, but I'm picking this one for now. I do think that we are at least gonna go down to to 205. Yeah, 206. And then we're probably gonna hit this this level, the 200 SMA. If we bounce out of that, we might get a little bit choppy and then continue going up. But I'm a little bit bearish for now. Like yesterday, let's say this. Yesterday, I was saying how nice this looks. And it looks nice. Now, the problem that we have is that if the Fed really is going to start lowering interest rates slower than what the market is thinking, companies like Tesla that depends on consumer credit are going to have are going to take a hit. So only for that reason now I think that we might see a continuation under 206, or maybe we bounce, but again my range is still 186 to 230, and it's happening kind of like the way I was saying. We didn't hit 230, but we did bounce exactly on the 35 SMA. Look at this thing, right on it. And it bounced back. Let's go back to the 5 minute, and I just want to see that. Yeah, so you're right here. You went right up on it. Wait, is that this? Am I looking at the right day? And oh, that is 3 days ago. So let's go back to the 5 minutes. I don't know. I can't see it. No, yeah, what am I doing? Is the 5 minute is 35 SMA. Anyways, it won't come up. Not that way. You know, I thought it was kind of like a level, but it's not. I realized, oh yeah, it's going back on the 35 SMA on the 5 minute chart. Stupid me. Anyways, I do think that we might see a little bit of a cool down in general for the market. I think that we might see a little bit of a cool down. So, you know, another thing that is interesting, Meta had all-time highs, Walmart had all-time highs. I think Lilly or Lil, whatever that company, had all-time highs. It's just interesting what you see in the market today. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys today. Sorry if I got all over the place by the end of the video, but it turned out to be a little bit longer than what I thought. Anyways, that's it. Bye-bye.